Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Star Wars. So I did the Droids TV show and now I'm going to do the Ewoks TV show. And let me tell you, it was rough. Like, it was really difficult. So I already knew doing both Droids and Ewoks was not going to be like the greatest thing that has ever been written for TV ever. I mean, come on, you know it's not. But I figured, you know what, it's going to be like a Saturday cartoon, just kind of put it on, watch it, have a drink, whatever, and it'll be fine. It is what it is. So, I mean, I did the Ewok movies, which I've already said I loved because I remember watching them as kids. I never really watched the cartoons because that was long before I was even thought of. So I did a little tiny bit of research just so I was a little bit prepared. And I saw that, okay, so Droids was 1 season and Ewoks was 2 seasons. So I was like, you know what? I just did the Ewok movies. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do Droids, bust it out, and then I'll go ahead and do Ewoks. Because, I mean, if it was 2 seasons, it has to be better. And I gotta say, like, Droids was surprisingly really good. The fact that they actually, like, segregated it into 3, even though it's 1 season, like, they separated it into 3 separate storylines. And, I mean, it was great. It was really, really well done. I mean, it wasn't the best thing ever, but I was like, I'm watching it, I'm like, this was 1985? And, I mean, we got 5 consecutive episodes making 1 storyline. It was really well done. And then we get to Ewoks, and I'm like, oh my god, Ewoks, like, what is this going to be like? Because, I mean, it's coming right off the skirts of the movie, so I was like, this should be amazing. And then I found out, I didn't know it at the time, but I found out because one of the last episodes of Droids was written by Paul Dini. And I looked it up and I was like, oh my god, like, he was a regular writer for Ewoks. Now, for those who don't know, like, he's a fantastic, like, writer. He does a lot for DC. Most notably, he's one of the creators of Harley Quinn, like, one of my favorite characters. So I was like, oh my god, Paul Dini wrote, like, Ewoks. Like, how did I not know that? I knew he did Tiny Toons. I knew he did Animaniacs. I knew all of that. But, like, how did I not know that? And then Cree Summer is in Ewoks, which I've met her before. In fact, those Funyuns right there... How can I do that? There we go. Right there. Those Funyuns right there are signed by Cree Summer, because whose Funyuns are those? Those are Foxy's Funyuns. So I was like, oh my god, like, how have I not seen this? And then I started watching this, and I was like, God, this is so bad. Like, it's really bad. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that, but it is. And for one, like, I understand it's a cartoon, and no offense to, like, Cree Summer, and no offense to, like, anybody else involved with this series, but it's probably going to the lowest bidder is the only thing I can really come up with. But as I'm watching, I was like, why didn't they get Warwick Davis to actually voice Wicket as well? Like, they actually got a voice actor. But I was like, I mean, realistically, Warwick Davis has had more screen time than some other major Star Wars characters. And so for him to just come in and just kind of do, like, 13 voiceover roles, I don't know, it just seemed to kind of make sense to me. But, I mean, the animation is fine, the story's fine. No, like, as when I first started, like, normally I have my notes. Like, I know you guys obviously can't see me, but I got the camera, and then I actually have my notes spread all around the camera. So it kind of, I'm trying to look at my notes and look at the camera at the same time. I'm like, oh. So as I'm reading all of this, like, as I start my notes, I actually have all of the episodes listed out. And I get about halfway through and I'm like, this is just, no, I'm done. Because at first I was like, this is going to be great. And I'm only going to do reviews, kind of like the Star Trek, the animated series. I'm only going to do reviews for like every 4 or 5 episodes. And it'll be fantastic. Nope, you know what? This is going to be the whole first season right here. So, production is in Toronto, Canada. They have a specific voice cast. This will make sense when I do season 2, trust me, and it only gets worse. They bring up a lot of different characters, like the Wissies, the Dulocks are very important. Overall, no episode, not a single one really stood out as this is amazing. The only one that honestly stood out to me was the penultimate episode of the season, which was called Blue Harvest, which is all about this love potion. And the only reason it stands out is because Blue Harvest was actually like the secret production name for Return of the Jedi. So I was like, oh, they took the Return of the Jedi name Blue Harvest, which is also the Family Guy. That's where they got their name from. They took that name and they made it one of their episodes. Ooh, creative. I got to tell you, the first season's rough. It's really difficult to get through. I mean, I was expecting Droids quality where it was like every episode's going to connect and it's going to be great. No, this is definitely a little bit younger and just it's hard. It's really kind of difficult. So I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks about this. Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time for season 2.